The name is Dale. I'm here to do the reviews of two movies that's in the theater right now that you can go see, and also a movie recommendation that you can rent. The first movie I want to review is Baby Driver. This is a great movie, much better than I expected. From the first initial trailer that I saw for it, I wasn't impressed. It wasn't nothing to make me want to go out and go see it, but I was totally wrong. Before I actually get into the review of the movie, the director of the movie, Baby Driver, Edgar Wright, he has a loyal fan base, almost like a cult following. Movie lovers swear by this guy. I never saw the big deal about the guy until now, but he's made movies like Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, World's End. And those movies were entertaining to me, but nothing that I was going to run out and tell anybody about. Shaun of the Dead was probably the best out of that bunch. And he was also supposed to do the Ant-Man movie for Marvel, but I guess due to creative differences, he didn't do it, but they still used some of the ideas and some of the creations that he came up with for the movie. And the movie still turned out to be a very good movie. But once he was announced to actually do it from the start, you know, a lot of fans, a lot of movie fans were excited about it. So, like I said, a lot of people swear by this guy, and I never saw the big deal until now. The movie has a nice ensemble cast. You know, you got Jamie Foxx, is probably the best I've seen. Jamie Foxx is Django Unchained. You got John Hamm, you probably know him from the Mad Men TV series. You got John Berthon, which he plays Shane in Walking Dead. Now he's playing Punisher in the NetFlix series. You got Kevin Spacey. Of course, Kevin Spacey's been active for a long time right now. He's in House of Cards. So it has a nice cast. And the lead actor, I'm probably gonna butcher his name, but I think his name is Encil Egar or something like that. I'm pretty sure I messed that up, but he did a great job. I never really knew too much about this guy. He played in a lot of them young adult movies like Fault in Our Stars and stuff like that. Movies I was never really into, but he did a great job. He impressed me. The movie is a heist, romance, comedy, action movie all balled into one. It's a good mixture. I don't want to give too much and spoil the movie, but it's a must-see. A very key component to the movie Baby Driver. The lead character, name is Baby, who's a getaway driver when they commit these heists. He always plays music when he's on a job because he has this humming condition in his ear. And in order to drown out the humming, he's constantly playing music through some earphones. And that's what drives the movie, so to speak. That's what makes the movie go in one direction or another. The music is basically narrating the movie. I love the selection of music that they put in here, the selection of songs that they choose to use for the film. And the music is so good in the film that a friend of mine, after seeing the movie, he went and bought the soundtrack. So that's how good the music is, and it plays a key role throughout the narration of the movie. It's a must-see. It's probably the second best movie I've seen this year. Logan is still a strong first, but this is the second best, maybe the second best. So I recommend you go see it. Then the next movie that I just saw today, Spiderman Homecoming. And I really recommend this movie. I was saying to myself, Baby Driver was the second best until I saw Spider-Man Homecoming. Now I'm like back and forth. And this is the third reboot of Spider-Man in less than 20 years. And that's all. The past movies have been hit and miss. You know, the first I guess you could say series of movies for Spider-Man with Sam Raimi doing the directing. And you had Tobey Maguire playing Spider-Man. The first one was good, you know. You didn't have too many comic book movies based on comic books back then, so you were just happy as a comic book fan. You just happy to get a good one. So I like that. I thought the second Spider-Man out of those three Sam Raimi Spider-Mans was the best. Then you had the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. With Webb directed the two movies, and the second Amazing Spider-Man got a lot of flack, got criticized a lot. I thought it was okay, but I can understand the criticism. It did have a lot of flaws. They tried to pack too many villains in there, just like they did with the third Sam Raimi Spider-Man. And then the first Andrew Garfield Spider-Man was pretty good. This one is the best Spider-Man movie I've seen thus far. Tom Holland plays Spider-Man this time around, and is more of a fit, because if you know anything about Spider-Man from the comic books, it's really about him being in high school and him dealing with the trials and tribulations of being a teenager in high school and also being a superhero Spider-Man. So they got somebody that you actually can believe and can totally buy in being in high school. I think Tobey Maguire was 25 when he first did Spider-Man, and he was supposed to be in high school at the time. And I think Andrew Garfield was 27 when he first did his first Spider-Man, and he's supposed to be in high school. I think Tom Holland is 20 years old, so you more can believe that he's in high school. And I think they're going to try to do the sequel where he's still in high school, and that's even more believable because he looks so young. Even though he's 20, he still looks pretty young. He looked like he could be in high school. And they took on the John Hughes format for this. You could tell it was heavily influenced by John Hughes movies. And if you're not familiar with John Hughes, he's a director that did movies like 16 Candles, Pretty in Pink. What else? He did Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He did that joint. He did Weird Science, which is one of my favorite comedies. So it has that feel to it where he's going through the high school situations and also being Spider-Man. You got Michael Keaton playing Vulture, which is ironic and funny because, you know, he got a lot of acclaim for playing Birdman in this movie called Birdman. He got nominated for several Oscars. I think it actually won the best movie that year. Then he turns around and be the Vulture in Spider-Man. And you know Michael Keaton played Batman in the first actual Batman movie, so it all comes full circle. He did a great job. It's probably one of the best villains they had in the Marvel cinematic movie. You know, they get criticized a lot for the villains not really having too much depth, but this was a good villain. You got a lot of people in this movie. You got Marissa Tomei playing Aunt May. You got Hannibal Buress playing one of the teachers in the school, one of the gym teachers. You got Danny Glover Jr. playing in this movie. You got a great ensemble cast. You got Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, of course. And he always knocks it out the park when he plays Tony Stark. The action is good. There's a lot of comedy in it. It's funny. But don't get too silly. Don't get too overbearing with the comedy. It's a great movie. I like it. I really like it. I highly recommend it. You must go to the movies and see this. And I also want to do a recommendation for a movie that I don't think is on Netflix streaming yet. I know you can rent the physical DVD or Blu-ray from Netflix. This movie called Aftermath. I'm sure you can rent it on other streaming services and networks. Aftermath is starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, Arnold Schwarzenegger is not known for being in serious drama. He's mostly known for being in over-the-top action flicks or even comedy, but not nothing serious. And that's where he's shining lately the most. He played in another drama a few years ago called Maggie, and he killed it. He does a great job. I think this is his lane right now. I think this is where he should be getting more roles in instead of trying to hang on to that action hero movie star. And the movie is about, I don't want to spoil it too much, but the movie is about him losing his family in a serious airplane wreck, which I'm not really spoiling because that's in the synopsis if you look it up online. And it's him going through the loss of his family, and it's another dynamic where somebody that worked for the airline that might or might not be at fault, for the plane crash. So you get to see the guy that works for the airline and Arnold Schwarzenegger's story, and they collide. You get to see them dealing with the grief, the depression, and this is a very emotional movie. It can be depressing at times, but it's very good. I highly recommend it. Some strong acting all across the board, and there you go.